I feel like once in a while I have to do, or I feel, not have to, I don't have to do anything, but I feel moved to do a video laying this out. And I don't necessarily, it's not really too much, it's somewhat for a specific group of white people or just white people in general, but it's also for those in my community that don't have the platform that I have, to for some feeling of solidarity, because we're all feeling the same frustration, and I feel like we definitely need the catharsis. But when I call out, when I take time, or when any of us take time to call out problematic white behavior en masse about you guys as a group, and you cry that your feelings are hurt, or you feel like you're being othered, or you feel, disrespected because you personally are not one of those white people, or or that like your feelings are hurt, or some of you even go as far to say like, I agree with everything that you're saying, but you need to be careful because you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get your way by bullying and intimidating your allies. Bold of you to assume or act like the intent was not to hurt your feelings. I'm very aware that I'm hurting your feelings. We are. And I, Nikki Marina, I personally do not care. I know I'm hurting your feelings, and I don't fucking care. Furthermore, what kind of gaslighting ass, manipulating ass, abusive ass shit is that to tell me that I better watch it? Because you agree with everything that I'm saying, and you agree that I need help. You agree that me and my people need help. People like me need help. But to beware your ego, because if I bruise your ego too much, then maybe you'll withdraw your support, or maybe some fictional white people out there will withdraw their support. If you are a kind of person that is going to frame harsh but honest and real accountability as bullying and harassment, then you are not an ally that I even want near me pretending. First of all, you're not an ally at all. You're not an ally at all. So you're just not a person that I want even pretending that you support me. And chances are that you've never actually offered any real support to anyone like me ever anyway. Because you're only okay with being an ally if your faults are pointed out in a gentle way. Baby, that's not how accountability works. You see, sometimes accountability hurts. Not even just matters like this and race and all that shit. Sometimes accountability hurts. Sometimes your fucking feelings need to get hurt. We've said that before. Sometimes your fucking feelings need to get hurt in order for you to learn a lesson. And unfortunately, that seems to go for you guys as a group. Because we've been stepping around your feelings since the moment we were born. We talk about, this is something we, and this mass shooting in Buffalo, this terrorist attack, is a prime example of what I'm about to say. We talk about black parents having the talk with their kids about the police. But there's a part, but there is a talk, but that talk doesn't just pertain to the police, and this is something we don't talk about enough. We don't just get to talk about police. We get to talk about white people in general. We are warned against pissing you guys off in general because of the power you hold and continue to flex over us in this society. We are warned and trained to not piss you off, to stay out of your way, to act in ways that make us palatable to you, to make us seem less threatening, when you guys are the ones who are threats to us from the moment that we come out of our mom's fucking vagina, okay? We spend our whole lives learning and trying to survive you. And as much as we try, what's to stop any of us from walking into a Buffalo, New York supermarket situation? I don't give a fuck about your fucking feelings when that is a very rare, very real, possible reality for me every single day. Why would I care about your fucking feelings? As a white person reacting viscerally to criticism of white people as a group, how narcissistic is it for you to think that a given video talking about the problematic behavior of white people as a group is about you in particular? Or maybe it's not narcissistic. Maybe you do recognize some of those problematic behaviors that we're calling out. And rather than processing the fact that it might be problematic or that it is hurting people, you decide that you've now been attacked unduly. Even though if you're having a visceral reaction, maybe some of the things that this person is talking about, some of these problematic white behaviors you're doing, because if it doesn't pertain to you, then fuck it, go good. Pat yourself on the back or whatever the fuck. I don't care. Like, if it doesn't pertain to you, then good. Make sure it continues to not, and then call out people to whom that behavior pertains. If the behavior does pertain to you and you recognize that it's harmful, then, shut the fuck up and do some work to unlearn that shit. But you don't do that, do you? You come into the comment section and you pin it on us. You come into the comments sections or whatever and you pin it on us to feel guilty for hurting your fucking feelings. Fuck your fucking feelings. Fuck your feelings. And by the way, you getting your feelings hurt by strangers on the internet, like me, and calling out your problematic white behavior is probably the worst thing that's going to happen to you as a result of being white. Most likely. Don't worry. Because just like a lot of haters and shit are very bold on the internet, because there's a protective barrier. This is a protective barrier for me as a black woman, to be able to say what I want to thousands, millions of people at a time. I'm blessed with that platform to be able to speak about these issues from the safety of my house. Because when things happen to me outside, you better believe that fight, flight, or freeze comes out. And very often I freeze, because the things that happen to us as black people are traumatic. I'm not nearly this bold-mouthed in real life, but that's because I have to worry about making it to the next day. From what I can tell, the biggest inconvenience is that you guys have to hear about it more often, because some of us have platforms, and because once in a while, mainstream media decides to pretend to care. We are fully aware that your feelings are hurt, and it doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter to us. The only people that matter to us are the people that we know publicly and in our lives that are actually actively doing the work to make a difference. And I have white people in my life like that. I know who they are. And they're not on Instagram. They're not famous. But they're doing the hard stuff that has to be done. They're calling people out. They're putting pressure on their fellow white people. Because are you alone? Are you one person by criticizing a problematic white person? Are you going to stop racism altogether in one foul swoop? No, probably not. But the problem is that there is no pressure being put on animals like that motherfucker that shot up that supermarket in Buffalo. There is no pressure from other white people to not fucking do that shit. There is none. There is no accountability until a whole bunch of black people end up dead. And it's graphic enough to invoke a reaction from white people to be like, oh, this is awful. This should never happen. Like, let's talk about this. But still in the same breath, you you deep dive to other people like this as like the crazy, bad breed of white people, of which most of you are not. Bullshit. White women, I'll use this same logic that I know that you're fucking familiar with. The same way that we say that how is it that 1 in 3 women are sexually assaulted every year, 1 in 6 women are raped. We all know somebody, all of us women, we know somebody that has been sexually assaulted and or raped, but no man knows a rapist. Really? Color me skeptical. You understand that fucking logic, don't you? You understand that fucking logic. So when I say that 55 to 60% of white women who voted last election voted for Trump, so statistically, given that everyone in your friend group voted, statistically, there is a good chance that half of your little girlies that you go to brunch with are pieces of shit who literally vote for candidates that act not in their best interest, not in the best interest of women, not in the best interest of people of color, and you are not doing jack shit about it. But walking around being like, I'm a good white person. But for some reason, that doesn't reach your cranium. How? How? Also, I say statistically, statistically, as if I know, it's so, oh God, statistically, as if I know the exact breakdown of your fucking friend group, Becky. Only you fucking do. But I'm not gonna take the time to explain the semantics of statistics to you. But we don't give a fuck about your feelings. There are literal elected officials walking around talking about fucking replacement theory. That we are running y'all out of this country. That we're replacing you. Literal rhetoric by respected officials and public figures. Not just this cracker that shot up the fucking supermarket. And it is we know how this happens. The Batman showed us exactly how exactly how Riddler did everything he did. Is basically exactly how this shit went down. The Batman told us. What I say about the Riddler when I did my review, a white man with active shooter vibes, an entitled white man with active shooter vibes. We get to walk around fearing something like Buffalo happening. We get to walk around just afraid all the time. Having to be mindful of things that you have no idea we have to be mindful of. You could never fucking conceive having to be mindful of. We have to walk around knowing that elected officials are preaching rhetoric that we need to be taken out like we're a fucking plague. Light genocide is what it fucking is. Light fucking genocide. And you want us to continue to infantilize you guys because you're white and you could never understand and all this shit, which is, yeah, whatever, that's your lived experience. How could you understand how we feel? Well, if you're an adult white person, then sorry, not sorry, but you better get fucking on it. I trust that you can do the work to try to understand a perspective that we have had to understand since we were kids. That's not my fucking problem. That is now yours. Now that's your discomfort. And it is mild compared to the discomfort that I and people that look like me, people that are darker than me, have had to experience since the moment we came out of our mom's birth canal. The survival skills that we have had to learn from being toddlers to survive you and your feelings. Because even those of you who think that you're good white people are the same ones coming in talking about feelings, talking about don't lump us all together, don't lump us, not all white people. Again, white women, you understand the all men conversation. You understand that. We say all men because you haven't proven yourself to be safe. We have no choice but to be afraid of all men until you have proven to be a safe person. A bunch of y'all understand that argument. So I know a bunch of y'all can sit for a minute, think for a minute, and shut the fuck up about this. Don't lump all white people together. Even those of you who think that you're a good person, a good white person, whatever, still weaponizing your fucking feelings against us. You better watch out. You better not hurt my feelings or I won't help you. Man, fuck you. Man, fuck you. We've been tiptoeing around your fragility for our entire life, and we're tired. We're exhausted. We're exhausted. We don't give a fuck about your feelings when we have to continue to watch our friends and family members get shot like animals in the street. When we get treated like animals in the street. I can't tell you how. That's another video. But just to walk in Midtown Manhattan as a black woman working in corporate America on a lunch break. Those are such dehumanizing days. Probably contributes to my agoraphobia, honestly. It's a video for another time. No. We've been tiptoeing around your fragility for long enough. And we are letting out catharsis of problems and emotional baggage and burden that has been carried from our ancestors on forward, that we've had to keep shut up, locked up because we can't make you upset. For our safety, we can't make you upset. We're not fucking doing that anymore. The truth has got to come out. And unfortunately, it has to come at the expense of your fucking feelings. But a lot more, we've had a lot more bruised and broken than our feelings. Historically, individually, as a community, we've had a lot more hurt than our feelings. So if you are looking to intimidate anyone that looks like me, anyone into not hurting your feelings and talking about these issues in a way that is agreeable and palatable to you, that doesn't make you feel a little responsible, a little well, that's just the price of having privilege, babe. If you're looking to intimidate us into doing that, let me be fucking clear. On the contrary, my dear Watson, the intent from this point forward is to completely disregard your feelings in the interest of our safety and of the safety of our children and our children's children, of future generations, if there are if there's enough time left in the life of this world for there to be future generations. The intent is completely to disregard your feelings. So proceed knowing that.